Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Can we hear me? Can we hear me? Can we hear me? If you can hear me, let me see your comments. Hefsiba. I like that. I like the way you just said the hi, Esther. That's great. It's good to see everyone again. All right, that's good. That's good. How have we been? This is week 9 of Lita's Bootcamp. And how has it been so far? How has it been? What have we learned from the time we started? What's your what's that thing you couldn't do before that you can do now? Apart from the things that you couldn't do before that you can do now, what are your major challenges? I don't want to hear challenges like I don't have a laptop or my phone has crashed. I don't want to hear all of that. I want to hear challenges that deal with design, challenges that deal with um maybe Figma, challenges that deal with research, challenges that deal with, things that we have learned, product design so far. I like what Efsiba said. She said now she can, am I right? I can critique designs now. Yes, I like that. Eto Karen says that she can carry out user research and low fidelity wireframes. I like that. I like that. I like that. HOG. You said you call yourself a senior designer. Nice, nice. Okay, Morani KG, it's good to see you again. User research and the use of Figma. Great. Oh, favor. Using auto layout was a huge problem for you. Yes, it always starts as a problem. In fact, there is really nothing beautiful that does not have a hard time, coming forth. So understanding auto layout can be a form of a challenge, but the more you practice, the more you get better. You understand? Yeah. So, oh, Jimmy says I can now work with Figma efficiently. Wow, I like that. That's Jimmy Mary. I love that. I love that. That's great. Amalu says that I I was having issues with user research, but now I can work with AI to do that. Simplified. I like that. I like the fact that you are also looking at simpler methods of doing things. But you know that if you don't understand something, AI will lead you astray. Let me say it again. If you don't understand how to use something, AI will lead you astray. Let's take for instance, I don't know anything about, I know a bit about medicine, yeah, but I cannot prescribe drugs for someone because I'm not in the medical field. If I then ask AI for a diagnosis, say my enemy's eyes are paining them, then their nose is swollen, and then a side of their gum is swollen. What do you think is the diagnosis? AI will give me a multiple form of diagnosis, and at the end of the day I may not be able to know what really is wrong with that person. You understand? So as much as you want to be dependent on artificial intelligence, as much as you want to be dependent on fast methods of doing things, understand the process first. That is what I teach my students. If you understand the process first and you then go back to AI, you would know when AI is wrong. I was taking a course some time ago, and then we got to the part where we're supposed to answer some questions, and I knew that I could have answered all the questions right if I had taken my time to like read and understand the questions. But I wanted to be fast. I wanted like to be very, very fast. So I started to use AI to kind of get my answers, just ask questions and then get my answers. I had 60% instead of me having, 90% that I know, not because I'm proud, but I know I could have gotten that 90%. So somehow, as much as we are dependent on artificial intelligence, let's still understand the process of doing things. Yeah. Okay. So Titilayo, you said that after you create your questionnaire, you don't know what to do again. Okay, that means you probably have not been in class. But if you have been in class and you still don't know what to do, I'll just do a bit of a summary. Yeah. All right. You've learned how to collaborate and it has taught you patience. Yes. Yes. Dealing with people, you would have to be patient. People are the hardest people to lead. If they say what's the hardest thing to lead is people. So for you to learn patience or understand patience now dealing with people, I give you a thumbs up for that. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Morenikeji, you have to start shouting Control Z. Yes, you have to start Control Z when you make mistakes. Yes, 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 true. True. Yes, yes. That's really good. I like that. I like that we've learned so much. I like that we've learned how to collaborate. I like that we've learned how to do things on Figma. I like that we've learned how to design. I like that we've learned how to carry out research. I like that we've learned how to use auto layout. I like that we've learned a whole lot from this journey. And somehow, this is what makes the facilitators proud, that they were able to teach you something and you are able to grasp that thing and also put it into practice. It makes your facilitators proud. So this is also to tell you that your presentation will be coming on Wednesday, and I want you to put the best that you can into your presentation. This is a time to sell yourself to the world. So it means that you have to put your best into it. You understand? Yeah. But then, I mean, I know that you guys would be cool. I know that you guys would just make us proud. Yeah. Now today we are going into high fidelity design. I know that a whole lot of us are having issues with high fidelity design. And so what I did was the I compiled the classes I had the last time with us so that I could just summarize what we have done. You understand? I just kept so much of them in the same place so that when we start that storyline again, if you have not been following through, you won't be so lost while we are conversing. And that's for people who came early to class. But before we start, I want us to say a short word of prayer. I'm sorry, I'm led to just say a very short word of prayer today. Our Lord and our God, we thank you. We know that you are the greatest teacher of all. We ask, Lord Jesus, that as we start this, we start in your name. We pray for wisdom, we pray for knowledge, we pray for understanding. And we ask, Lord Jesus, that you'd help us to know and to understand everything that we are learning. In Jesus' name, we have prayed. Amen. So, as much as we are designers, we are also children of God. And as children of God, we need to bring Jesus into everything that we are doing. All right, so please, can you help me present my screen so that we start today's class? Yeah. Now, from the last class I had with us, you would notice that we started talking about Litafa. And for those that don't understand what Litafa is, if you know, you know. For those that don't understand what Litafa is, Litafa was our Ladies in Tech Africa finance application. You understand? So that is just Litafa. Ladies in Tech Africa finance application. That is Litafa. And when we started the journey, we already summarized that at first you want to start with carrying out your research. And we said that the solution that we are trying to build is a type of solution that helps ladies in tech know their budget, know how to spend, know what to spend, know when to spend. You understand? So that at the end of the day, we would also be very good financial people. That was what we, started talking about when we were dealing with Litafa. And so we had already assumed that, yes, we would take a form of, research as we were taught at the beginning. We would start with research. And when we start with research, we probably would have our screener questions. That's our survey. So we'll carry out a survey across all ladies in the boot camp. And when we have gotten something from the survey, we would then move to our next phase, which would be to interview some of the people that we have carried out their survey. So I'm trying to summarize product design now. So you want to maybe interview some of the ladies that you have given the survey form to, and that have answered it, and that fit into your persona. I'm sure when I'm saying some terms now, we shouldn't be confused. When I say something like persona, we shouldn't be confused. Those are people that we can term as our target users. So you would have seen those people while you are analyzing your survey. Now, from there, you would have interviewed them and you would have gotten more insights into what your users will want on that particular finance application. So from now, we are dealing with the fact that we are trying to build a finance application. Ladies in Tech Africa has come to meet us. They asked us to help them build an application for finance for ladies. Oh, that's awesome. We can do that. So first, we've carried out a survey. We sent it to all the ladies in all the different courses. They've filled it. We have screened those people who are now our target users, our target participants for now, not users, but target participants. We can call them our target personas. So we have seen them, we've called all of them, we've interviewed them. Then we then go to Figma to analyze our interview. So from our interview now, we have gotten our empathy map, we have gotten our user persona, we have gotten our journey mapping, we have even gone online, we've gone to look for our competitors. So we have done our competitive analysis, we have looked at hypothetical statements, we have looked at a whole lot. We have tried to analyze everything that our users have requested for. We've done our matrix, right? We were taught matrix as well. So we've done our prioritization and matrix. If you were taught affinity map, you've done your affinity map, you've done all of that. You've gone even to your information architecture, and from your information architecture, you've gone to your user flow. At that point, in your mind, you already understand everything that this product will be doing. In your mind, you already know that this product is going to be solving a problem for finance. You already know that you are going to be doing something like budget. You are going to be doing something like analysis in the application. And also, you are going to be maybe getting money into the application. Maybe you would have an account that somebody can then transfer money to, so that if they ask for like, what's your account number, you can always say, oh, my account number for Litafa is 00, and then you call Litafa's account number, and then people can send money into Litafa's account number. You've thought of all of those things as the product designer, and you've also thought of a way where, now we are talking as product designers, you've also thought of a way where maybe you can get Litafa to make some profiting from what you are doing. So you've already thought of how can Litafa make profit from this application. You've already thought of that. You're already putting all of those things into consideration. The next phase is that you start your sketching. So you can either sketch on paper like we have here, or you can, like we have here, or you can use, maybe if you are very good with sketching online, you can, pick your pencil on Figma, and then you can sketch what you want to sketch on Figma. Although you see that this is not the best of sketches, and the paper looks better than the sketch that we used Figma to do. So whichever one you feel comfortable with, you can actually go with that. Now you notice that for our sketches, you'll see that we were able to annotate. We're able to give like names to each sections so that we don't forget all of the sections that we have created. Yeah. Now you see that for this screen, this is our onboarding screen. This is more like our login or our create an account screen. So let me say create an account. And it is actually very advisable that you name all your frames so that you don't forget what each one is. So you sketch or you sketch on paper, or you sketch on Figma, or if you have other applications that you can sketch in, it's not compulsory you use Figma, it's not compulsory you use paper. If you have like some applications that can make your sketch easier, simpler, you can also go with that. After that, we went into our low fidelity sketch, yes. And if we remember, we went through our splash screen. We then went to our onboarding screen. I don't know what I'm doing in prototype. We went through splash screen. We created our onboarding screen. This time it was low fidelity. And you know that for your low fidelity now, what you are doing is you are just designing a skeletal part of the design so that you can show your stakeholders that, oh, this is what I've been able to do so far. What do you think about this application? Do you think it is good? Do you think that we can do something better? Do you think that this is a worthy design that you think would sell on your part, or do you think we should make changes? So from there, if they have approved this design, then you can go to your high fidelity design. If you are following me, please let me know from the chat that you are following me. So from your low fidelity, you can move now. If your clients have agreed that yes, this is a good design at low fidelity, we can then move to high fidelity. Now, you would notice that for this our high fidelity, all what is here is just our onboarding screen. Yes, our onboarding screen. We don't even have like a sign up or a login screen there. You understand? So now let's take, for instance, we had shown this login, sign up, and home screen to our clients, and our clients have told us that this is not what they want. So the next thing you want to do is you would still go back to create a better design that you think that your clients will want. You understand? So you still go back to do your design research, and then when you do your design research, you'd get your inspiration by checking other applications and seeing how they are running things, and then you can now come back to create another low fidelity that might then sync in with your clients, and then from there you can now move to your high fidelity design. Now let's move to high fidelity today. This is Litafa, and this is our splash screen. So let's say that we want to recreate what I have here. The first thing you want to do, I know you were taught, I am absolutely sure you were taught, you want to create a style guide. Now you can either create a primary style guide that is local for you. You might want to just create something that you can quickly use for this application, or something that is unique to this application, or you can use existing style guides, existing design system that Figma has created. Let me say that again. When you are on Figma, you can either create your own design system, style guide, or you can use existing design systems that Figma already has for you. Now, the disadvantages of using the already existing design system is that you may not be able to tweak things the way you want. You may not be able to mix colors the way you want. You may just have a very straightforward kind of design. It may not have the kind of fluidity that you want while you are designing. So let's take, for instance, you want to create maybe your own design system. You can think of, creating your own typography. You just look at, okay, I want Poppins as my typography. I want it to be so and so font. I want to have bold, I want to have semi-bold, I want to have medium, I want to have regular, I want to have light, I want to have thin. What I majorly do is I create my typography, and when I'm done creating my typography, I turn them into styles. So what I will be doing on this call now is just to create a very, very simple typography using Poppins, and then us seeing how it really looks like when I am creating it locally and in a very simple way, not to waste our time at all. So take for instance, I'm not going to teach us how to create colors because I believe that we already have colors. So take for instance, I want to create my typography. First thing I do is I go to my text, I bring it down back to this point, and then I write something like, let's use Litafa. So, no, Litafa. Whoops, Litafa. Now this is Litafa. I want to start my base numbers. The number I'm going to use to create my style guide will probably be 16. So I'm looking at my style guide here, and I'm seeing leaks pattern. So I will change it from leaks pattern to what? Poppins, because that's what I want. So I've changed it to Poppins, and then I'll leave it at regular. Yes. Then I'll change this size to 16, which is going to be my base size. Now you cannot see it clearly. Sorry about that. So this is my base size on 16. I want it to start, like, I want my base, which is how will I explain base? That's my normal body text. My normal body text size, 16. Normal body text size at 16. Now what I will just do is I'll go straight to my plugins, and then I'll look for, let me go through this point, and then let me look for, wow. I sometimes type skills, yeah. I sometimes don't remember the name of a particular plugin until, oh wow. Okay, so sorry, let me go back again. I'm thinking I missed a step. Yes, plugins and widgets. Now let me look for type skills. Type skills. Yes, I think I've seen it. Type skills. So this is type skills here. And what type skills does for me is that type skills help me create my typography in a very, very simple method, so that I'm not, although it is helping you create it from scratch, you understand what you are doing. Yeah. But then it's not like you are depending on Figma to help you with typography. You get? So with type skills now, I'm going to run this, and type skills is going to like give me conditions. I'm hoping my network would actually make type skills run. Sorry, let me run that again. If it's not going through, then we move from there. Type skills, run. Yeah, loading type skills. Please, if you are lost at any time, let me know. So this one is network at work. This is network trying to shank type skills. Wow, wow, wow. I'm hoping we don't have to wait for too long, so that I'll just show you how to create, your typography with type skills, and then it's just easier for you to, create that. But if my network would not let me shine with type skills, you guys can check it out. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So this is type skills. Now with type skills, your base size, as you can see here, is 16. You want your scale to be a 1.2, not a 1.25. That means that your sizes would either increase or decrease at 1,200, by 1.2. So if you say 16 times 1.2, is going to give you the next size. The next size times 1.2 would give you the next size, and so on and so forth. So that's what the scaling means. I think we have learned what scaling is on Figma as well. So that's just that about this scaling. So your scaling is going at 1.2. Now your line height, you can leave your line height at 1.2 or 1.3. The funny thing is, at the end of the day, you will still change your line height to go with the good line height. You people are learning things that I teach only my paid students. So you are moving your line, you are working with your line height at 1.3. Now, with your line height at 1.3, you are still going to change it. So sometimes I tell people not to really bother about the line height here. Why? Because you are still going to change it. Now, when you say scales up or scales down, this is telling you how many litafas or how many typographies do you want bigger than 16, and how many typographies do you want smaller than 16. That's what it is saying. So do you want 6 sizes more than 16, and do you want 2 sizes less than 16? That's what it's telling you. More like how many children do you want to give birth to? So you can say, I want to give birth to 6 children. So those 6 children, you know, probably you have the spacing of 1 year and 2 months, 1 year and 2 months, you know. So you just have those smaller children. One is 10 years, maybe the next one is 8 years, maybe the next one is 6 years, maybe the next one is 4 years, just like that. That's the scaling down. But if you are scaling up, maybe the first one, the last born is 4 years, the next one is 6 years, the next one is 8 years, the next one is 10 years. That's scaling up. So that's what that means. Although, just watch what I have here, and then you see where we are going to. Now, if you see your round values at a dash, that means that you don't have a decimal point on your left-hand panel of the type skills. But if you see it at this curved icon, that means that you are going to have decimals. And it is very advisable that you don't work with decimals while you are designing. It is very, very advisable that you don't work with decimals while you are designing. So I just want to try something out. Yes, I'm scaling up by 3, which is why you can see that from 16, I have 3 bigger sizes up. I'm scaling down by 2, which is why you can see 3 sizes down. And then I am generating this. Now look at what we have. We've generated our typography already. It's not inside the frame. Excuse me. I don't think it's inside the frame. Let me see. Is this a frame? Yes, this is a frame. So it's not inside it. Click, delete this. Now we have our design or our typography here. If you're thinking, somebody is asking, why are we using base something? So the base is just talking about the normal sizings for your text. The normal size you should have for a text, which is 16. Now you can have text that are bigger, you can have text that are smaller, but the normal size should be either 12 or 16 pixels. I hope you understand that. So now from 16, which is your base, you can then begin to work your way around your typography. So you can decide that, okay, this is 28. You can say, I want this 28 to have 3 structures. So I just duplicated this. You can say one should have a regular weight. You can say another should have a medium weight, and you can say another should have a bold weight. Okay, this is medium as well, so let's go to bold, and then you can continue that on your design. So when you are done with this, you can then say, okay, I want to rename it. I'm not going to teach you all of that because I believe that you've been taught that. So this is medium, and then this is let's say bold. Yeah, so you can just continue that. You can rename I only scaled up and scaled down with the type scales. So you have to check type scales before you scale up or you scale down. You understand? Okay. All right. So if you are confused as to what scaling is, look at your Figma and look at, no, not where I'm going to. I'm going back to frame. So look at this part. Let me get you a rectangle. Hold on. Let me get a rectangle into this blank space. Let's get a rectangle. This is a rectangle. Let's make the rectangle Control Z. Constraint proportions, make it 1000 by 1000. All right, great. Now let's scale. If I want to scale, I would click on this drop down in my floating area down there. Yes, we were taught. I don't know if you were taught scaling. That's why I'm showing you now. So you will see this drop down. You see this small drop down here in your design. You would see that drop down at the arrow key, at the arrow icon. When you see that, you would see scale. If you click on scale, you would have this pop up. You would have this. I'm hoping that you can see where my cursor is at. And then now you can either scale upwards or downwards. Now let's say that you want this 1000 by 1000 rectangle to be 2 times bigger. You can click on 2x and it is now 2 times bigger, 2000, 2000, 2000. But let's say that let's say you want to like make this rectangle 0.5 small, 0.5 degrees or 0.5% small. That means you want to divide it into, now it is 2x, so you want to divide it into 4. You can use 0.5 and then it scales down. Can you see that? So now you've scaled it down to a 500 by 500. Let's say you want to scale. Let me click out, click back in. So now it is on 1x now. Let's say you want to make it smaller again by 0.5. Now you are dividing by 2. So you can scale down to 0.5 and then it is 250 by 250. So that is you scaling down. Now, the reason why scaling is somehow and sometimes good in your design is so that if you probably have a mixture of different shapes. So take for instance, you have an ellipse in this design. Let's change the color of the ellipse to a dark shade. Yes. Okay, let's say something like this, yeah. Okay. Let me use my color picker and pick something. Yeah, so that it looks as if it's a hollow. No. You're not downloading anything on scale. Now look at what I've just done here. It looks like a hollow, yeah. So I can decide that I've selected, I've highlighted. I'm doing it over and over so we can see it. I've highlighted this particular design, yeah, and then or this particular element, and now I want to scale. So let's go to scale. So if I say I want to scale this design up to 4x, that means I want to make it 4 times bigger than it is right now. I want to make it 4 times bigger than it is right now. Click on this and you notice that plus the circle and the rectangle and the square, they both increased to 4 times bigger. They both went 4 times bigger. So this is at 400. It was at 100 before, now it is 400. Whereas this rectangle was probably at 250 before, now it is at 1000. You understand? So that is scaling up. Now let's say you even want to scale down, you can just select it and then you can scale down. Scaling down means you are going, you are rewinding the sizes, you are minusing the sizes. So you can scale down to 0.25. And of course, we have gone back to how it was before, where this circle is at 100 and then this circle is at and this square is at 250. So you can either scale up or you can scale down. So that's that with scaling. Now look at your design. If you notice this litafa, you would see that they have different sizes. So some of them, if you start from 16, some of them scaled down. Yeah, see, some of them scaled down while some of them scaled up. You see that? So some of them became bigger, that's scaling up, and then some of them became smaller than 16 pixels, that is scaling down. Yeah. All right. I don't Oluwadarasimi, I don't understand your question when you say you've not been able to get you've not been able to shape your circle. If you want to get a circle and sometimes you feel that you're not getting the right perspective of the circle, just click on the drop down on your rectangle shape. You would see ellipse. Pick your ellipse instead of dragging. If you left click and drag, you may not find a very perfect circle. So what I always tell my students is to either just drop the circle, or I'm thinking that if you click on your shift and you left click and you draw or you drag the circle, you probably would also have a perfect circle. You understand? So that's that. That's that. So I'm hoping that you've been able to understand those things I just said. If you don't understand, kindly rewind the video and watch that part again. Now, somebody says that you didn't understand the scaling part. This is just for typography, and I used a plugin called Type Scales. Type Scales with the S. I used a plugin called Type Scales with the S. Yeah. All right, so that's that. Bukola, is not actually ideal that you to make a circle you use a square and then you change the corner radius to 100 or something. It's not That's not ideal. Okay, just get your ellipse and then use that to make your circle. So that's that with you creating your typography. You can then rename them. So when you rename this you rename them as per what you want. So let me do a quick renaming for this. I'm seeing type 28 here. I'll probably say this is my H1, and this is regular. So I said H1 slash regular. This is my H1, and I can say this is medium, and then I can say this is my H1, and then this is, oops, sorry about that. So this is where we use, no, I don't want this. I don't want to comment. Yes, thank you. So Control Z, thank you. All right, so let's go here. This is my H1 slash, this is bold now. Bold, okay. And then I'm just going to use these three that I've renamed now to create a type or a style guide for typography so that you will understand. Now I have created different H1 typography. Yeah, I've created different H1 typography. So I'll select the different H1 typography I've created, and then I will get another style. Or first, you can do it two ways. So you can come to your first type, that's font type, and then you can come here, right? You see this apply styles. You can click on apply styles, click on your plus, and then you can type H1, and then let's say slash regular. Can you see that? So if I say H1 slash regular and I say create style, I don't know if you've been taught this. So if I say H1 regular, now I have created this style as H1 regular. Or if I have like more than 30 typography or font sizes that I want to create at the same time, and I don't have the time to, start picking them one after the other, I could just select. So let's take, for instance, I have more. So let's do H2 slash regular. Let's say H2 slash semi bold, right? Medium, not semi bold. Medium. All right, this is regular with the capital R. Now let's say that I have this litafa, and then I want to like create a type style from this. I could just select this 4, and then I could go pick styler my styler plugin. So let's rush to plugin for styler. Pick my styler plugin and then generate styles from there. Now my styles are loading and I have created 4 styles. H1, H1 medium, H1 bold, H2 regular, H2 medium. Now if you click out, you are going to see all the things I just created by myself. I just created H1 regular, bold and medium, and then I just created H2 medium and regular. So that's teaching you how to create your own typography styles. You can do something close to that with colors. You can do something close to that with, other style that you want to like create yourself, your color palette, your icons. You can bring in your icons from, the community. You can get your icon from the community. You can decide to start, creating some very some nice functionalities, your buttons, your different, maybe your avatar, you want to create that, and so many others. You can just start creating different, designs that you think would be good for your style guide by yourself. Yeah. So after you've done that, you can now go to your Litafa design, and then with that you have your color. You've designed your color, you've designed your typography. If your plugin is not working, I think it's network, so just be patient. You can load it again until it works. Yeah. So let's say that you want to create this. I already got the logo of our clients, that's Ladies in Tech. Yeah. So we've gotten the logo of our clients. What I will just do now is I'll get a frame. So let's imagine that we are starting from scratch. So duplicate this, and then of course you rename it your launch application. I'm deleting this so that we are starting from scratch, and I'm changing this color. So I'm even removing that color. Let's give it a feel of white. So you've brought in your frame. Instead of even, let me even delete this and bring in like a frame. Yeah. So let's go pick our frame. Hold on. No, that's wrong. I want to see the 43932. Okay, frame. Bukola, if you ask me that one, who will I ask? You're asking me why why Figma needs data. Because of collaboration. Because Figma sits on collaboration, yes. So Figma requires data because you are going to be doing a lot of collaboration, real-time collaboration on Figma. So let's continue. Yes. So I have my screen. I just brought this screen, like fresh screen. Yeah. So I want to rename this iPhone 14, 15 Pro Max, and I want to give it a, let's say, let's say launch. Or you can say your splash screen, your launch screen, your splash screen, whatsoever. Yeah. And then from there, you want to give it like a corner radius of 40 so that it would really look like, phone or something. Now, this is my client's logo. Because I am dealing with a client, and that client is Ladies in Tech Africa. If you need to do if you need to do a logo, you can meet graphics designers to help you design your logo, or you can even decide to find a method of designing your logo by yourself. So let's continue. The next thing you want to do is you want to get your layout grid. Yeah. So your layout grid is the next stage you want to enter in design. From your grid, you go to your columns. From your columns, you do a count of 4. From doing a count of 4, you probably want to give it an opacity of 8. And then from there, your margin of 24 by the side, your gutter at either 20 or 24, which is good. And then you can close this off. Now that you've done this, next you want to get is your logo. So get your logo, bring it into the design. Then you can maybe centralize it and then take it up. So I want to make sure that the distance between it's like a good distance between what I'm looking at. Okay, I think I even adjusted this to be a 120 by 80. So that's what I'm going to do here. It's already constrained, so I want to just change this to 120 by height. I've not used auto layout though. I don't know who is asking me for auto layout. I've not used auto layout. So let's see, 120, and I'm seeing a decimal, of which I explained that you actually don't want to use decimals in your design. So we are taking this to 80 instead, so that we don't have decimals in our design. Now centralize it again, make sure it's at the center, and then try to see that it's at a good location. So let me leave it at 270, or let's even leave it at 264. All right, that's good to go. Now you can decide to now bring in your Litafa text. Okay, we're coming. Now you can decide to bring in your Litafa text. And let's say you want to bring in your Litafa text. So we are working with hold on. I'm having to read everything you guys are writing, yes. So I'm having to be slow. Sorry about that. So Litafa, Litafa, beautiful. Then I'm going to centralize this as well. I'm going to check the distance. To check the distance, I am choosing, I am clicking on my Alt. If you're using a Mac, it's going to be Option, yeah? So, yes, this is good. Now, notice what we did from the start. I have my color. So I'm going to change my color to my main pink. And then I'm going to change this to like a white. I have white already. It's not the white of white. It's a very light pink, or the background pink here. So I don't use white in my design. Instead, I use like the lightest pink in my design. Why? Because white sometimes is really, really, really shouty. So you see, I've created my splash screen. If you want to look at this and check out how it looks like, just go to your preview mode from here, preview, and then you get this screen so that you can always check out what you are doing as you are designing. Yeah. So this is our screen. This is our design, Litafa. Beautiful. Now we are creating our next screen. What I just do now is I duplicate. So from the duplication that I have created here, from the duplication, the next thing I want to do is I want to change this background back to light pink. See? And now from there, I can decide that Litafa would also be the main pink. Okay, beautiful. Now, if you have created your button before, you would be able to work with your button. But if you have not created your button, maybe you want to create a button that maybe you want to create a button that blends between pink, and that has the curves that you want, something like exactly like this. Yeah, so we are going to be creating this exact button again, because we are dealing with beginners. Yeah, so I'm going to pick my typography again, and then this time around I'm going to write let's just say button. So this is button that I've written. Poppins 40 is too much, so we are going to use 16, which is our base. Or I think I didn't have that created as a style. If not, we would have just picked the style from here, you understand? So would have just picked the style from here. But I mean, these are other styles that people have created over time, you see. So you can just pick anyone that works well. Let me look for let me look for the one with 16. Yes, so I've seen the one with, no, that one is, yes, body base at 16. Yes, thank you very much. And my base, I don't want my base to be this. So this is where another plugin comes in, especially when you are probably dealing with a disproportionate line height. Now you discover that my font size is 16, but my line height is 56. Sometimes you may even have line heights that can be like 18.2 or 34, something like this. And it's not really good. Like, it doesn't speak well of your design. So this is where another plugin comes in, and that plugin is called the good line height. I use that every time in my design, because somehow I always want to get I always want to get yes, this is it. I always want to get the best line height my for my product. I don't want my product to come out having disproportionate line heights or line heights with decimals. So I have this to explain or to give me a better line height. So the good line height for my design, you would notice that it is 24. So I've closed that up, and then I've closed that up, and then I can bring that into, I can use this now to create my button. So let's say that I want to create my button now. I have my text here. What I want to do now is, give me a minute, let me close this out. See, it's on regular. All right, great. So from here, do a Shift A. Now this is where you are using auto layout. So right click and then add your auto layout. I've added my auto layout. This time around, I want the padding, something like margin, yeah? So instead of you calling it padding for now, you can call it margin until you are used to understanding that it is padding. So I want my horizontal padding, this one here, to be maybe, let's say 40, so that it would have like good space. Can you see what happened? And then, because the least height your button should be is 40, this is 42, which is good, but I want it to, just come up a bit to maybe be like a 48 kind of. So this is 24, this is supposed to be 24. So I'm going back to my good line height. I'm thinking my good line height did not capture what it is supposed to capture. Wahoo. Delete this, make it 24, enter. Great. So yes, that's that. Yes, this is good now. All right, 12, and it's giving me 48. Yes, I like this now. This is a better button that I want to have. Now I can give it a feel of pink, yeah? Or let's start with our light pink, our background pink. Don't worry, don't be scared though, don't be scared. Esther has not spoiled it. And then for the text itself, we're changing that to our main pink, yeah? So from here, we are giving it a round radius of, let's say 24 for our round radius. Now this is one. I will then do a renaming. The way I will rename this is I'll rename this button being the primary name slash let's say slash ghost. No, instead of ghost, let me just say slash now I'm having to think. So let's say, yeah, slash active, or instead of active, let me just say we have secondary. I'm going to use this as secondary. Secondary. All right, great. Now I'm going to duplicate this, bring it down here, and then instead of recreating from scratch, I'm going to just change things up. I'm just going to switch it up. So I'm changing this to a light pink, and then I'm changing the background to my main pink. That's all I did. And then this button is going from secondary to primary. Enter. Now what I will just do is I want to create the what's it called now? I want to create the component for this particular design. I've selected the two, or I've highlighted the two. What I would now do is I would go to my components. This is my component icon here, create components. But I don't just want to create components. I want to create a component set. That means that this button is, I want this button to be in a room. I want to put this button in a room. I don't just want it to be like I don't just want to create one component, but I want to create it as a set. You know, mathematics, those things, when we're learning sets in mathematics, this is where we are bringing it in. So as a component set, I want to create this. By clicking on create component set, I have this button now as a component set. So you can see that this is what I have. Now you can decide that, oh, you want to just create the button. Sorry. Let's say that you just, oh, Control Z, Z, Z. So let's say that, okay. So let's say that you want to just create this button, detach instance. All right, good. So let's say you want to create just one component. You can just click on this and say, I want to create this as a component. Now, after you've created this as a component, you can also say that I want to create a variant. That's, you want to turn this singular component to a set. So I want to add a variant, and then you can now go ahead, add a variant, and then maybe you name this now primary. Yeah, so this has turned to primary, and then you can do the same thing we did earlier. Change this main pink to a light pink, and then change the background to your main pink. So that's another way to create the same thing I did for this one. The same thing I did for this is the same thing I did, but a different process. So I'm just showing you different methods of achieving something, different methods of doing a particular thing, different methods of, it's not just one way that you have into doing or into creating components or sets or something. It's not just one method. You can go through different methods and then you will still achieve something good. Okay, so from there you already have your button. What I will just do is I'll copy that button, click on my frame now, paste the button, Control V. I have the button right here, but what we want from our button here is our primary button. So I can just come over to this side on my top right, and then I would see secondary here in my properties, click down, and then I can pick my primary button. Now I have my primary button here. Let's say my primary button will just, hang in this place, and then I can change button to, I think it was login. Yes, login. I can change this to login. From login, I can decide to do what? Duplicate this, drag it down, make it a distance of 24 or even a distance of 16. So let's try a distance of 16 because we are working with the 8 grid system as well. And then this time around, you want to say forgot password, question mark. Is that what is there? Yes, that's what is there. And at this point, you want to give it the secondary button. Yes, secondary button. And you want to change this particular color to your darker pink. So let's say you want to make it dark, yes, dark pink. So you can see this, you have this already. So you have forgot password, you have your login, and then you can now decide to type. If you don't have an account, sign up. So you will type, me, I will just copy and paste. Because what is life without copying and pasting? So if you don't have an account, sign up. You are just going to do that. Yeah. So now you have created 2 different types of your launch screen. Your launch screen at the point when the user just downloads the application, and then your launch screen at the time after the user has logged out of the application and probably wants to log into the application again. We'll be having a short break, I think. We'll be having a short break. I don't know if that's still obtainable in this class. Sorry, give me a moment. Let me confirm. So we'll be having a short break for the next 5 minutes while you just take time to digest what we have done. Then we'll be moving to other types of design from the next time we come back on board. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I just went through your comments and then I saw some of the things you were saying on research. But because of time, yeah, we may not be able to delve into that field. Because of time, we may not be able to. I may not be able to put my quota on that. But maybe when we are done, maybe during mentorship or something, maybe we would have that discussion. Yeah. So let's go back to our design. Now we've been able to achieve your launch and I would call this your relaunch. Yeah. So your launch and your relaunch screen, we've been able to achieve that. I hope that if you try this on your end, you would also be able to achieve, if not a better design, maybe almost the same kind of design. I'm also trying to see that my distance between one design to the other does not look like a village girl designing. I'm trying to note that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right, great. And then I'm looking at the distance. This looks like pepper selling design here. Okay, but I've changed that to 24. So you have it here now, 24, and you have this, and then you have 24 as well. Perfect. All right, so that's good and that works for me. Let's try to do something here, yeah? And if you notice that with this, we already have like our status coming in. And I know in our former class, we taught we taught this how to create your status. So I would not even be going into that at all in the name of Jesus. So let's rush to. I will duplicate this screen and then I'll bring it down to the next screen so that we'll just continue our design. So on this place now, I'm going to name this onboarding. Yeah, onboarding. Now with onboarding, what I'm creating is those screens that you would necessarily, interface before the application like really starts. You understand? So I'm deleting this and then I'm changing this color from light pink to, what do you think? Main pink. Woo! When I started this design, because I don't like pink, like you guys, I don't like pink. I don't like pink at all. But then, because you guys are using pink, I have to design pinky. So someone says that Litafa is not showing when you preview the screen. That is because Litafa is not in. That's because Litafa is just looking like it is on, but it's not in. Let me try this for you. I'm taking Litafa out. Now you can see that Litafa is no more inside. Now let me do something. Can you see that? This looks like Litafa is inside this screen. I have to carry this to the right. This looks like Litafa is inside the screen, but if you look at this relaunch, you'll see that this is Litafa outside your screen. This is your screen here, but Litafa is outside. So how do you bring Litafa outside? You can, from outside to inside that screen back. You can either do this by dragging Litafa from where it is on the label to this screen here, right, to your frame, and then you put it inside. That way, Litafa is inside. Or you take Litafa out again, and then you drag Litafa back until you can see this blue line, that blue line that surrounds that screen. That shows that Litafa is now inside that screen. You can see that. Now, someone says, how did I get this particular screen that is previewing? I got it by clicking on the frame or the frame, and then coming to this play button here. From your play button here, you would see present, but don't click on present. Just click on the drop down in front of present, and then you see preview. And with preview, you can preview whatever you are designing. It helps my work. It helps me see what I am, doing as I am doing it, and it helps me note how it will look like on a phone. So let's continue. Let's jump to our design. Now we have to create like a skip screen here. So I have to put, okay, sorry, I'm bringing my status. Put my status here, Control V, as I told you. There's nothing better in this life than copying and pasting. It's like water in my honeycomb. I'm thinking I would even do a 40 with this. So let me do a 40. Okay. And then let's even drag this. Yes, till I am, yes, 24. Beautiful. So we have, instead of login now, we have skip. Yeah, so this is good. We have skip. I think I still need to like close in this gap. Then do this 40, 40, 24, 24. Beautiful. So this is it. I'm coming. Let me see what I've done here. Let me see that I don't have 19. Let it be 20, please. Hold on. I gotta close this now. So let this be 20. Let it be 20. Because I don't want stories that touch the hearts. This is of content, yes, and 20. Perfect digits now. So we have skip. Beautiful. Now I'm just, of course, you people know how to type, so I'm not going to be typing all those words that are just words. I will just be copying it here. But then if it is the design, I would be drawing up or putting in the design. So you know that we already have like, let me do this. Yes, we already have like our login and our, you know, our button. So we won't need to create all of those buttons again. Now what you want to do is you want to bring in a rectangle. So get your rectangle from your rectangle form, and then you just draw it. Draw it to cover like the entire width of the screen. And then I'm thinking of distance, so I want to make it like 72. If you calculate 72 too, you would see that 72 also moves with that. It also moves with the 8-point grid system. So from there, I want to give it a good corner radius of 40. Yes, perfect. And I want to make it my light pink. So light pink going on right there, going on right there. I'm thinking of something, send to back, because this is there. I don't want it to be there, so I want to delete that. Now, next thing I want to do, of course, you know how to get your images. You can get your images online. You can get your images from, you know, anywhere you think you can get your images from. But when you get your images, when you get whatever image would work for you, it may not be this image, it may be another type of image, yeah. Yes, you can rotate your screen, no. So you can turn this screen to, you can do a landscape. There used to be a format for landscape. I think this is it. Can you see it? But me, I don't want. Control Z. So you can rotate your screen to landscape and then continue your design. So from here, let's go. From here, you can then write your next. This one, your button next. So I'm just bringing in this white. Distance between this, let's make it 40. Yes, centralize your design and then write next by the grace of God. After that, still try to centralize and let's see, all content, perfect. Centralize again so that it's not be as if you've made one mistake. Then the next one you want to do is you want to create this ellipse, yeah. So what do? You first get your ellipse. Ellipse is remaining smart to speak Yoruba now, but just get your ellipse, yeah, and then of course constraint proportion. Then maybe give it a point of 8 pixels. At this point, you want to remove it from, I'm trying to bolden my screen so that you see what I'm doing. So you want to remove the fill. So you want to minus fill, and then you want to bring in stroke color with dark mode pink. Yes, you can either decide to leave it at 1 or 2. Anyone that works fine by you. Somehow I don't know, I think it's a 2 I used here, yeah. So let's make it 2. 2 and duplicate because you don't want to stress your lovely self, and then remove the stroke and put a fill of main pink. That's that. So select the two, auto layout immediately, and centralize. Of course, you want to check your auto layout and make sure that it is perfect on your 8-point grid format, so that you don't do something that you start to wonder where this is going or where that is going. But as of now, we don't have any regrets, so put it in the middle and check the distance. Perfect. 8. Can you see that? So you are good to go. See, we are done with this part. See, now we are done. Now you can just do something sweet. Just duplicate that, and then instead of spend your money wisely. Okay, so with the kind of screen I'm using, I just use my two fingers. So I don't know what these two fingers are called. I don't know if it is index or something. These two fingers, Shada, you are seeing me on. Put the two of them on my trackpad, and then when I do this, it zooms out like it does this. Then when I do this on the trackpad, when I bring it back together, it goes like this. You understand? Or another way to zoom in and zoom out is for you to probably use your control and plus, control plus, control plus. So when you do control plus, it zooms in. When you do control minus, it zooms out. So that's that. There are different places where you can get 3D. There are different places where you can get 3D animations. I used to have some raw files then that used to have like all of this, and they used to be free at some point. So that's where I sometimes get some of my 3D stuff. But I think now they are paid or so. But my free files, since I kind of moved them to somewhere where I could always get them, I can still make use of it. So I don't know. Yes, you can also get some in free pick if they are free. Yeah. So that's that. Control C for this, Control Shift and R. Or if I confused you, I just copied this, right click, copy, and then right click, paste to replace, and then you see that that's that. Now look at this. So this place here, this one, zoom in. This one now is supposed to be here, while this is supposed to be here. So I think that's good to go now. Now we are through with our onboarding, and then you probably would want to design your login screen. So if you notice the way we created your onboarding screen, you would see that you can follow that same process. Let's make this an 80. Yep. And then drag it down. Yeah. So let me do a Control C and then paste to replace. Because I'm thinking like, I think it's a 60 or so. I know I used mixed, but let's leave it like this. All right, this is good. So now you want to like do the same with your login. So you can see that from here I have your login, I have your create account, your forgot password, I have your security pin. You can just keep designing like that, as simple as the designs can be. You can just keep working alongside with the design. We'll quickly work on maybe an input field. We'll quickly design an input field. So when we are done designing an input field, that would be maybe all for this main time. Then we'll go to the main screen. So how do you want to design an input field? The first thing you want to do is to probably think of the let me help with this. Duplicate this, bring it out here. Ah, my God. I need like a very fresh background. So let me just look for a rectangle that is white, so that it will not scatter or distort what we are doing. Yep. And let's change this to white. All right, great. So I'm going to just zoom in and work here. bring to front. All right, so let's work with this. I'm sorry if the screen is too bright for us. It's really bright for me. Let me see if I can tone down that color. Yep. All right, so let's just replicate this input field, and then we can continue with our design. Now, for the input field, you want to start with your username or email. Yeah, this particular one, this one. So you want to go to your typography, whether this typography, whether this type here or a different one. So let's start. Username. This one is writing. This one is writing, or is writing in white, or email. So I'm going to change the color to the black I used. So let's look for the color we would be using. Yes, let's say dark mode pink black. Perfect. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to put this in an auto layout, but I don't want the auto layout to have like any spacing. So 0 all through. 0 all through. I don't want to stress the auto layout. Now, next thing I want to do is I want to create something like this example at example.com. So I can, oops, Control Z. All right. I'm going to use another method. Instead, let me just write again so that I don't keep duplicating here. So we are going to write example at example.com. And for that one, I'm going to give it a different color, maybe a gray color. So let's say I'm giving it this, but I want the gray part of the color coming out. Somehow I'm looking at this color. I think letters and icons here. So let me go to letters and icons. Nope. Let's go to letters and icons, but it's still really dark. So I think I did something. Yep. So I changed appearance to 45. All right, perfect. So example, change to small. Wow. Whoa, okay. Me. All right. So give me a moment. Let me work with this. I think that is something I have to change in my design. Yeah, perfect. So with this now, I will put Control Shift A. That is another auto layout. And this time around, instead of a fill, I'm going to put a fill, yeah, but much more than a fill. We'll use baby pink for that. Light pink or background, yes. And then from there, we'll put a stroke of background, yes. Drag, change your alignment to left, yes. And then let's say your padding margin 24. Okay, great. And of course, round corner radius, you are changing that to, let's start with 16. I think that's beautiful. 16, perfect. And then you can now decide for this first frame that you've created, you want to give it a margin of 24 as well. Yes, so that when you are putting the both of them together, these two, frame 482 and frame 483, when you put both of them in auto layout, Shift A, you then change the margin to, let's say, 8. And there you have what you have. Can you see that? So you have this. Now you've been able to create like your input field. You can just decide to now start, duplicating. Why are you going to places where you're not supposed to go? So you can you can now start duplicating. So I'm going to be manually duplicating my screen. or my input field, and then you can be using that in your design. So you do this. Now for password, let's say you want to bring in this I, yeah? So let me just get this I. I'll just copy this I, and then I'll come to this design here, this particular one, this one, and just paste it. But look at where it pasted to here. It just pasted to the front of this example at example.com. Now imagine if I say something like, I want to put this thing here. Look at how it's going to look like. It's not looking presentable, it's not looking fine. So how would I, work that out? Someone should teach me what I would do here. That's it. Who will teach me what I should do here? I want to see it on the chat section. I have a peculiar problem. This I is supposed to be at the edge here. So how can I solve this challenge? Quickly, quickly, quickly. How can I solve this challenge? How can I bring, we are using auto layouts. Now I'm confused. So how can I solve this problem? Please, someone help me. Yes, it is in auto layout already, but look at it now. GX graphics, look at it. This eye is like this. It's supposed to be like this. So see my problem. Miss Esther just taught us that this is how the input field will be. Now I want to do my own to be like this, but it's not going like that. See where it is. I should change the padding. Which padding am I changing? Is it the horizontal padding or the vertical padding or this particular one, the distance between two objects? Okay, Cecilia says I should use the distance between two object option. What should I now put there? See what I should put there. So I'm using the distance between two objects. I'm using the distance between two objects, and then I'm using auto. The moment I click on auto, pam, you see that it just changes. So instead of looking for how you move your elements from one side to the other side, just use auto, and no matter what you have typed on one end, whether small or big, you would notice that I just stays at the end of your design. I hope we have learned something. All right, so that's that. So you can, of course, you can use that throughout your design. You can use it to do something. Now, look at what we've created for your welcome. You can create your rectangle the same way we created the rectangle here. So if you are confused as to how to create this rectangle, just come back here to watch how we did that. And then you can create your input field like we created it here. And then you can duplicate it and then put your icon there. Of course, you are changing this now to what? Password. Now from password, you can create your login. Of course, we've created our login button. Where's our login button? So this is our login button, yeah? So you can always use that across board. So you can stretch that out until it meets both ends, and then you can, you can work that out. No, you're not using the hug or your rules. You're not using hug, you're using auto. Now you can do the same thing for your create account, your full name, your email, your phone number, the course that each person is taking, and then your password. You can even think of ID, like the student ID. I think we were saying something about student ID. So if we are going to do student ID, instead of phone number, I think I will just drag phone number down with my keyboard, and then I'll say student ID. Students ID. Yeah, so this tells us that the user should and must be a LITA student. So you can also either sign up with Facebook or you can sign up with Google. And if you have already signed up and you are still finding yourself there, you can log in. Yeah. Now you can you can do your forgot password as well, because of course some people would always forget their password. You can look at your security pin, your verification pin. If you have forgotten your password, you can bring in a new password, and this can show that you have changed your password successfully. Now you can decide to now go to your home. Now this is the design I created for our home. And when I was designing this, I was just looking and saying, God, I beg, But then let's look at how it looks like on a phone. So when I checked the phone, I saw it wasn't really bad though. That was why I left it alone. But I'm thinking that I would probably just tone down on, sorry, I would probably just tone down on the colors to my right, yeah? I'll probably just tone down on these colors by giving them like a background pink, yes. And then the light pink should now change to the this. So I'm thinking that that would work better instead of the way it was before. Yeah. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. I think this is much better than, yes. I think actually I'm looking at this now and I'm seeing that that is much better than what we had before. So this is my home screen. I have my home screen. You can check your daily transactions, you can check your weekly transactions, and you can check your monthly transactions. Yeah. And then you can see your total balance as a student, like your total balance currently. You can close the eyes and open the eyes at any point because this has already been prototyped. So because this has been prototyped already now, you can of course close the eyes and open the eyes. And if you close the, so I did not design when everything is prototypes, yeah? Or let's say, let's do this. So let's say that when my amount is I should have something like this and something like this. Yep, I think that works for when the eyes of Patmos closes. So let's close the eyes now. We are still designing. Oh, this is eye off. And this my guy, eye off. Yes. So now we cannot see how much. In fact, I think it should affect everything so that nobody would know like how much your salary is, how much blah 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 is. You get. So you just have it as stereo. I think GTB does something like that, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love this. So you see that somehow I'm still designing. I still find some thoughts to my design, and I still find myself designing every day. Yeah. So let's put, yes. So now that this is done, yes. Okay, perfect, perfect. You can now see that you have like your home screen. This is your home screen. You can just see general stuff. Then you can see like your transaction, the transaction that your money came in at so and so time, your rent, your feeding, your school fees. But then if you want to see all your transactions, if you want to see all the transactions you've made, you can just come to this point. So you see, I was designing it a step at a time. You can come to this point and then you can check out all your transactions. And then if you probably want to check your analysis, you can click on this place and then you would see all your analysis. And then if you want to like check, close the eyes of your design, you can right now close the eyes of your design. Now you can also create like your profile. So this is my profile. This is Esther Oyebode. And then this is my student ID number. And then I can now say, okay, edit profile, security setting, help, log out. I can edit my profile. I can push notification button on. And then let's say I want to log out. I can log out and cancel. Now, I have designed all of this so that we see how we can prototype. So let me delete this so that I don't always see this. Now, how do we prototype such an application? It looks, we are not done with this application. If we want to be done, we'll probably have more screens here. But then let's try to prototype what we've done so far. I'm going to be prototyping with what I've designed. Yeah. So, and I'll still do something with what we designed here, the little that we've designed here. But let's go with what I've designed first. So from this Litafa, I want to go to prototype. Now I'm in prototype. This is how I switch to prototype. Just beside design, under my profile, I'm going to see prototype. Click on prototype and then you start. So I want Litafa to switch me to my onboarding straight ahead. I don't want it unclicked. You see that now you have different options. You have click, you have drag, you have while hovering, while pressing, key gamepad, and so on and so forth. I don't want any of this. I want after delay. Bam. Now, how many seconds after delay do I want? I want 1200 milliseconds after delay, which is just a minute and 200 milliseconds. Just very, very quick, and then it will move. I want it to navigate to onboarding, but do I want it to go instantly? No. I want it to smart animate. So you have different options. You can either go instantly, you can dissolve, you can smart animate, you can do move in, you can do move out, you can do push, slide in, slide out, all of slide in and slide out. Yeah, you can do all of that. But then let's use smart animate for now. And nobody should laugh nobody should laugh at slide in, slide out. All right, so let's go with ease out. So I've chosen smart animate. I want to use ease in and out here. And then I want to use about, let's say, let's do 800 milliseconds. That's not up to a minute, yeah? So let's come back here to see what we've done. Now, reload this and bam. Can you see that? So that's that. I'm thinking that is okay, but I'm also thinking that it has not been able to show me what I really want. Let me see moving. Instead of that, let me see moving, and let me see it moving from the top. Exactly. Let me see it moving from the top, or let me say slide in from the top. All right, good. So let's close this now and let's do it again. All right, and okay, so that looks like it's going to work well. So you can see that you can use different methods. You can decide that, okay, let's try I've not tried push before. Let me try push and let me see what push will do. I've not tried push before. I've not used push in my design before, but I want to see what push can do. So let's reload and then see it. Sorry. Close this, reload. Okay, so it looks like they are joined together and it still came in from the top. So let's use sliding here instead of push. Let's use ease in. All right, let's use ease in, and then let's close this. So from there, let's move. Now, if you say you want to click on skip now, skip is supposed to take you directly to maybe your create account page. So that's what we want to do now. Create account page. On click, navigate to create account. We don't want it on smart animate again. We want it on instant because we don't want it to be doing all those, when you are going to just create an account immediately. So that's that. Move to create account immediately. Now, this is the beauty of design. I can copy this skip. I can paste it here. Look at this. I've copied this skip, right? This is copy. When I paste it here, paste to replace, both my prototype and the skip itself would come here. So I don't have to be doing this together the same way I've done this. You understand? So that makes it like really easy for me to work faster and work well. Now, let's say I want to go to the next onboarding to see what's going on. I can just click on next, and then the moment I click on next, I want it to do the smart animate thing again. Easy in 800 seconds. That's beautiful. Now, if I say go to next, it's supposed to take me directly to create account. So yes, that's where we are. And then on click, instead of smart animate, I want it to be instant. So we've closed that. Now, let's see what we've done so far. Let's start from launch. Now, at launch, it moves this way. So you can say skip, but let's say next. So this is next. And then if I say next again, it brings me directly to create account. Let's go back. Let's go back. If I say skip, it takes me, wow. Skip should take me directly to create account. So what's wrong? I think that's network. So if I say skip, it takes me, yes, it takes me directly to create account. I'm hoping that we are following. No. Now, at create account, you can decide to log in. So if I click on login, it's supposed to bring me back to my login screen, which means that if I have a mistake, or if I move to create account and I already have an account, I can just say login instead, and then it takes me directly to the login. And if I'm at the login and I say I don't want to log in, I want to create an account, I can still come back to create an account. You understand? Now it is instant. I am noticing and I am seeing that my prototype is on instant. I don't want it to be on smart animator at this point. Now you can either say that, okay, if I click on okay, I would adjust that later. Thank you very much. So she said the student ID is still carrying phone number sample. So we'll quickly change that to a student ID like 23, I don't know, 0012 slash LI, or no, let's try liter 4000. Okay, so let's try liter 4000. And this is giving me liter with double I. All right, so from here you already have an account, login. If you don't have an account, you sign up. And let's say you have clicked on login, it's supposed to take you directly to your home page. Yes, so on click, you navigate to instantly to home page. Yes, that's beautiful. Now let's say that you click on sign up here. So from sign up, you also move directly to your home page. Beautiful. But now let's say that you forgot your password. Maybe you have an issues and then you forgot your password and then you cannot remember your password again. Your forgot password would move you to this screen that says forgot password. Okay, let's take it from here. Hold on. So you guys remembered how we moved from onboarding to creating an account, yeah? So from this next, you come to create account. Now from creating an account, if you want to log in, if you don't want to sign up, if it is login you want to do, instead of you now looking for how to go back to login, just use this to prototype to login. If you want to sign up, use this to come back to sign up. Now, if you want to log, if you've filled your information here and you click on login, you can immediately come to your home page. That's what I've just done so far. If you click on sign up and you are done with all of the information here, it would immediately bring you to your home page. But if you forgot your password, imagine you forgot your password, your prototype link will take you to your forgot password screen. This is your forgot password screen. So from your forgot password screen now, you can request for a reset. Yes, and then you put your email here and you would say they should send you a link. Now when you click on sending a link, you imagine that they already sent you the link to your email. I'm just dragging it here. So this is it. The moment you see plus, yes, just left click and drag to the next screen. The moment it touches the next screen, you can leave it. So when you leave it, yeah, you can see your pop-up. This will just pop up and then you can say on click, navigate to this particular stage at an instant. Yes, that's that. Now from there, let's say that you need to resend the link. Of course, you can just leave that unprototyped because if you say resend link, it would bring you back to this page. So you can leave that. Now, let's say that you've gotten the security pin, you've kept your security pin, then you just click on reset password. It brings you to this screen, yeah? And then from there, trigger is on click, action is navigate to, destination is here instantly, exactly. So you put in your new password and then you can click on login. Now, the moment you click on login, you come to this screen. So this screen gives you like a prototype that your password has successfully been changed. And then after delay, it brings you back to your login. Sorry. So it brings you back to login. Now, not on click anymore, but after delay. So after delay, it brings you back to login. Yes, 800 ms is very good for that, and you have this. Now let's quickly restart, reload. Nope, reload. So let's start from scratch and see what we've done so far. So let's say we want to go to the next. Okay, let's say that we have signed up. We want to log in now. So let's say that we forgot our password. Click on forgot password. Let's say we have inputted all of this. Send the link, please. We've gotten our password. We want to reset it. From there, you can input your new password, and then you can go to login. Now your password. Wahoo! Hold on. All right, I get it now. So hold on. So I need this to load. Yeah, I need this to load. I'm going to increase my after delay to, instead of 800 milliseconds, I'm going to increase my after delay to, let's say, 2000 milliseconds. I'm hoping 2000 will be good, but let's try 2500 milliseconds. All right. So if you are asking me how I animated this before now, okay? So it's just a loader, just load something. Yes, and perfect. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Yes, that's sweet. So let's say we are here now. You want to log in now. Your password has been changed successfully, and you can come to your welcome place. Now input your new password and then click on login. Now you are in your application. So let's take, for instance, you want to navigate to your profile. So let's use profile for an instance again. So this is your profile here. You just click on profile, yes, and then you come to profile. So by the time you come to profile, on click navigate to profile instantly, yes. Now you want to edit your profile. Click on edit profile, bring it here, yes, and then on click, of course, let's do that. Now let's say that you want to log out. Now this is the part where I've really wanted to dwell on. Let's say you want to log out. This is your logout, and this is what is supposed to come out. So your logout animated to this small pop-up. On click, instead of navigate to, watch what I'm going to do. Instead of navigate to, you just click on this drop down and say open overlay. So instead of navigate to, you are opening an overlay. Now, while you open an overlay, it is now asking you, where do you want to fix this? Do you want to fix this at the center? Yeah? Do you want to fix it at the center? Or do you want to fix it at the top left? Or do you want to fix it at the top right? Or whatsoever. So I feel that it should be at the center, yeah? And then you can click on this. Close when clicking outside the box. Give it a background. You understand? Give it a background. Now, what kind of background do we want to give it? I want to give it like a pinky and the brain. Sorry about that. I want to give it a pinky, like a dark pink. Oh, sorry. Control Z. Let's do this again. Control Z. So let's come to, let's give this a dark pink. Yes, but then an opacity of 75. Yeah, 75% opacity, and instantly. Now it will now tell us that, do we want to log out? Now let's try it. Let's see what we've done. Can you see this? Oh, I feel like fanning myself. I'm so proud of myself right now. Can you see what just happened? Let me show you what I just did again. Let me show you what I just did. Oh, this is beautiful. Me, I'm feeling myself. Even if nobody is feeling me, today I'm feeling myself. So so let's do it again. I'm going to delete it and then do it again. I'm so feeling I enjoy design actually. So somehow whenever I'm designing, I feel good. Like I feel great. Even if I was feeling sad before, you just see my face just lights up like wow. Because I love prototyping. I love prototyping a lot. So let's do it again. Now the idea is that we want to log out. Yeah. So log out, you bring your logout to this logout section, and then you want it to pop up. So how do we do it to pop up? On click, you instead of navigate to, you go to where open overlay. So when you open the overlay, when you open overlay, you are in end session. Now you are changing the position from whatever it was before to centered, and then from there you now come, you close. Of course, you tick this up so you can close when clicking out, or you can add background. If you don't add background will not show. So you want to add background, yeah, and then pick a dark pink color. Look for the, you can use anyone. You can even use, you can use black and do an opacity thing, you understand? But I just felt like using pink because litter is pink. So let's kukuma pinklize it, let's just pink everything. So I'm using a very dark pink, and then we are changing it to 75% opacity and instant. Now when you do that, you can of course close this and you can try it out, but we are not trying it, so I will not be blushing again. Now click on logout, double click on logout, and now we are going to take you back to the top because we want you to be able to see this page. Yeah, so click on logout. You see that when I clicked on logout, I first, let's do it little by little. I first clicked on logout. I first clicked on logout button. Yeah, after clicking on logout button, I could now like reduce my screen like to the barest minimum so that I can get where I'm going to. And then see my plus. You see my plus? This is my plus. Just drag it up to this particular screen. Now on click, navigate to 1B launch. Now let's say that from 1B launch, you want to log into the design again. Just click on login and let it take you directly to your login screen. Or if you have forgotten your password, click on forgot password and drag it to your forgot password screen. Or if you want to sign up, click on sign up and bring it to your create account screen. That's that. Now we are done with the prototype of everything I've created here. So let's see how we can reload and start this design from scratch. Okay, reload again. Yes. All right, this is good. Now let's go to the next. Let's go to the next. In fact, let's reload again. Let's skip. Now we are in create account. So you have inputted all the information you want to put here, and then you sign up. Beautiful. But let's go back. Let's say that you skip. You want to log in. I've created my account before. Let me just log in. So you put your information, and then, yeah, I cannot log in. No, I've forgotten my password. So let me try and work on my password. So from here, you get the link. Oops, I've gotten my link to my email, reset my password. I change my password, confirm my password, click on login, and then my password has been changed successfully. I come back to my login, I put in my email, I put in my password, and I click on login, and then I'm in. But I want to, check my profile out. I can edit my profile, check things out from there, and then wow, let's go back. Oh, I didn't do something sweet for you guys. I'm going to try it now. And then if I want to log out, I can just click on this and then go to log out, and I can log in again. Now, let's say that you are, yes, we are here. So let's say that you can see this back arrow. Now, most times, some designers will teach you and say that, some designers will tell you that, okay, this back arrow, you should take it to the previous screen. But Figma has done something great, yeah? So with Figma, you can just do something like, I'm coming. Oh, I want to make sure that, oh, yeah, I'm still here. So with Figma, there's a way you can take this. Yes, I've seen it. There's a way you can take the prototype to the back such that when you are clicking on this back arrow, the previous place that you've been before is where it will go to. So even if you were somewhere different from what you are doing, the moment you click on back, it goes to the back. See it here, on click, go to back. That's all. It's not taking you to a particular screen, it's just taking you to your previous screen. Figma is amazing. So you can do this for all your back screens, yeah. So when you create an arrow that says back, just prototype it to back. When you create an arrow that has like back, just prototype it to back. So that's the fun part. So wherever you were on that particular design, it just takes you back. It just takes you back. So let's see. Where were we on this design? We were not anywhere, so it's not taking us anywhere. So let's go to home, then let's go to profile, then let's go back. It's take us back to home. Can you see that? So let's click on this, and let's say we want to go to log out. We want to cancel. Hey, I didn't say for cancel, so I didn't prototype for cancel. So let me prototype for cancel. So if I say cancel, let's just close overlay. Perfect. Can you see that? So close overlay for cancel, so that when you are clicking on that, it just goes. So let's click it again. Log out. Oh, I don't want to log out. Cancel. Perfect. Now let's say, where were we before now? We were home. Yes, we were home. Transaction should lead us. This is transaction here. So transaction should lead us to transaction, not on drag. Oh wow, so click is gone. No, click cannot be gone. So let's say transaction should take me to transaction. Perfect. See all should take me to, time is gone. So see all should take me to see all, and then we can check quick analysis and the others. So let's try that out. This is our home. Yes, this is our home. If you want to check transactions, this is transaction. You want to check see all, this is see all. Let's go back. Yes, and let's go to profile. Let's use this profile. Okay, so let's go to profile. Let's log out, and let's log out for real. All right, so do you have any question? Okay, so someone says that there is no save button on the profile edit. So yes, of course, we can put save button on the profile edit. And how will I do that? I'm still on prototype, rush to design. Time is no longer on my side now. So we can do it here, centralize this, and then just say save. Yeah, save. So if it saves, it should take us, now let's rush to prototype. Let's delete this prototype, and let's say that if it saves, it's supposed to just take us back to edit profile. Yes, so that's that. Any other question? A product designer does more than a UI designer. In fact, a UI UX designer does more than a UI designer. A UI designer just designs interfaces. So he may not even do a lot of research, he may not do a lot of all of those things. But then a product designer does research, he looks at the business, he looks at the interest of the business, he looks at the interest of the users to solve a problem. Yeah, so that's that. I know that our time is up. As I've said earlier, please be reminded that you are presenting on Wednesday. 6 groups will be presenting on Wednesday, and I'm hoping that your supervisors would reach out to those groups that will be presenting on Wednesday and those groups that will be presenting on Friday. I wish you the best. Please practice. Practice makes perfection, or practice makes you perfect. I've been seeing the question on how I animated the loader. The same way you create your button is the same way you can animate that loader. create your button, put in your dots, 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 animate the first, animate the second, animate the third, and then you are good to go. So that's the way it is. All right. Just keep practicing, and you will be fine. Thank you, and have a blessed day. Have a blessed night. I pray that the joy of the Lord will fill your strength, and I pray that the peace of the Lord that passes all understanding would rest with you even as you sleep, or as you use tonight to do a practice on Figma video. Take care of yourself, everyone, and be blessed. Bye.